I have a Kindle and I have an iPad, and today is going to be the war in between them on which you're going to read better, why you're going to read better on that device, why your eyes might be hurting on the other device, which one is kind of easier in terms of distractions, either the time consuming, either the battery, or just the screen itself, and probably your preference because you're watching this video in order to see if one of these devices is fit for you or just neither of them are, and probably you're just going to read only paperbacks, but you're here anyway, so thank you for that. First of all, we're going to talk about the price. For the Kindle Paperwhite or either a Kindle Basic, it's way cheaper than having an iPad. Or of course, if you're having probably an older iPad or something like that, that might work too. But from my experience, when people are buying an iPad, they're either buying the iPad Air or the iPad Pro or even the iPad Mini, which is way more expensive than a Kindle. Even though there is a blue light filter setting, my iPad still feels brighter than the Kindle Paperwhite or the Kindle Basic or any other Kindle, of course, or any other e-reader in general, because basically the iPad has a display that lights up by a ton of pixels and it has more lumens, and so it's like more brighter and more contrasted and you're going to see everything much better. But a Kindle has an e-ink display, basically helps your eyes not be so fatigued anymore because of the blue light. Even though you're having a blue light filter on the iPad, you're still going to feel your eyes that are fatigued or sore after endless hours of scrolling through TikTok, Instagram, or any social media. You're just going to feel very bad because you've been spending like 5 hours at least scrolling on something and not doing anything. And I don't really mean anything productive in any sorts of way, but something like fun. But now with the e-ink display, if you're buying a Kindle Basic, the Kindle Basic still has the blue light that is going to brighten up your display. But the Kindle Paperwhite has a blue light filter also. In my experience, you're going to put your blue filter level brightness at more than 3, you're just going to have a yellow display and it's not going to be great because you're going to feel like everything has a yellow tint and it's like really weird, and I wasn't used to it and I was like more distracted by the color rather than being able to read. So mine just gets stuck at level 3 because I'm reading either in between like 0 brightness, 10, or at maximum at 13 brightness. In some days that I feel like super tired, my eyes are super heavy, kind of like, see the words if I'm just maybe wanting to read for 10 minutes. But other than that, I'm just using it in between level 10 and 12 because 12 is like the most comfortable that I'm with in terms of brightness. But before I'm going to go into the next pro, make sure to please have at least an ambient light and do not read or use any other device in complete darkness because it's just going to damage your eyes, even though it's an e-ink display or a regular display device. Let's just focus on the battery because the iPad kind of has a pretty good battery, but when I'm telling you that a Kindle Paperwhite can go up to 4 weeks after 1 year, so I'm having it for 1 year and almost a half now. It's going to be a half in probably 2 months or something like that. But this little thing, compact as it is, lasts for 4 weeks, and just by flipping the pages, even though you're having the Wi-Fi on, sometimes for either updating your books or for either downloading new books or for returning to Kindle Unlimited in my case, I kid you not, I'm reading so much with it. It never ran out, it never restarted on its own like some other people are having problems. Mine, it really is a gem because on the iPad you're having distractions, and now we're going into another separate topic, but it's kind of tied to this one because a Kindle is distraction free. It's basically a dumb device that only lets you read on it. That's pretty much it. Okay, sure, it can connect to the internet and you can download books, you can browse for books, but whenever I'm wanting to browse, I'm just browsing on my phone. I'm downloading first on my phone from Kindle Unlimited and then sending them on my Kindle. But even though it's just flipping pages, the iPad also has notifications, the iPad also has messages if you're tied to your iMessage account. Also has many other stuff, games that you would rather play rather than reading or just maybe scrolling on TikTok. A lot of reasons, of why you wouldn't want to go for an iPad. Of course, now people are saying, hey, I don't want to buy a Kindle, I don't want another device because I'm having my iPad and I'm like really happy with it. Sure, fine, that's really cool. But in my experience, I didn't really meet a lot of people like that. So if you're one of them, just let me know down in the comments below because I would be so curious about your experience right now. And also, as you are there commenting your experience, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new here, even though not, because I'm posting a lot of bookish and gaming content that I'm releasing every Thursday and bi-weekly on Sunday. It's not a big of a screen for the iPad mini, especially in comparison with the Kindle Paperwhite, but then if you're getting an iPad Air or an iPad Pro, it's going to be humongous. You're just going to have such big letters, and this one is customizable. You can customize the font, you can have one letter per page if you really want to, but I feel like on the iPad my eyes were getting so fatigued because I've tested it for like 1 week and I was changing devices, but by the time I was past the second day and the third day, I picked up my iPad less and my Kindle more. Even though I bought a Kindle specifically for reading and I was like getting into the habit of like reading, but I'm also having Kindle app on my phone. I really don't enjoy anymore to read on my phone, even though I'm not having my Kindle and I want to, in the bus want to read. I just don't. I suck it up. I'm not doing it. I'm not reading at all, not even a single line. And that can be dramatic, but it's happening because this device literally changed my life and my reading habits and my productivity. And I'm having also a lot of videos about the Kindle that either it's with reading productivity, with tips and tricks. I'm just having a playlist on my channel if you want to watch any other related stuff about a Kindle, because maybe you don't really know if you want a Kindle or not. Maybe you want to switch from an iPad to a Kindle, or maybe you just bought a Kindle and you don't know what the heck to do with it. So everything is there for you prepared. And even though you're going to tell me that, yeah, but it's distraction free, the iPad, if you're toggling on the DND or do not disturb button. Sure, but you can toggle it off. And I knew a lot of people that were reading 5 minutes, not a lot of minutes, and kind of breaking the habit of reading by toggling on or just checking every time the notifications in case something important happened. But that's not my case. I don't really relate to this because, yeah, I'm reading on my Kindle and I'm just having my phone sitting there. And if I'm reading at work during the lunchtime, I might be checking the clock, but I'm not checking the clock on everything. I'm checking the clock on my trusty Kindle because it also has an option for a visible clock. And also, I forgot to mention that the Kindle is way lighter. I don't know how to describe it. So my wrist rest from the keyboard, it's way heavier than this one. So this is how it is. So you can decorate it with Kindle inserts, with like charms. It's like really cute. The iPad, you cannot really decorate it. Sure, you're adding some stickers, a case, and with the money that you didn't spend on an iPad, you can spend to customize your Kindle. And a lot of people are buying the most crazy accessories that I saw on Kindle. So if you want a video about me testing out Kindle accessories, just drop down in the comments below if you're interested in that, because I don't really know what I might find in my country since I'm not using Amazon like any other content creators that are doing this type of videos. So I'm really interested to see how it goes. So overall, I think the iPad kind of lost this war because its functionality can be used in any other methods or ways or entertaining purposes. It cannot be as good as a Kindle in terms of reading. So if you were to ask me, should I read on my iPad or just buy a Kindle? I would say buy a Kindle, test it out, buy at least the Kindle Basic one. And after 4 years like me of being a Kindle Basic user, you would be like, okay, I'm just going to upgrade to the big boy. Oh, and what I forgot to tell you, it's how the devices are going to be kept in time. Because if I got an iPad and I was keeping it for 10 years, probably it would go sluggish. It would annoy the shit out of me. I wouldn't be really picking up in order to read it. This little thing, if you're keeping it 10 years, it's not going to happen anything to it. upgrade, sure, the battery is going to suffer, but this tiny thing, nothing is going to happen to it. It's going to run the same, it's going to move the same because it's also slower. Unless you're going to buy the Kindle Basic 2024 edition or the Kindle Paperwhite 2024 edition or the Signature and the Color Soft. But I don't really recommend the Color Soft because the text is less crisper on the colored version because it has like less pixels per density rather than the black and white versions. But when I'm telling you that I have been so flabbergasted by the fact that people were keeping old Kindles for 10 plus years and they were running good, they were running smoothly, they were running like in the first day, I was like, oh my god, what the heck. But for me, it was more of like, I want to upgrade it to have a larger screen and kind of like, the flushed, nicer screen rather than the Kindle Basic. Although my Kindle Basic was amazing. I got it. It was working like the first day even after 4.5 years or something like that. But I don't know, I just wanted to upgrade because I felt like it was like a reward, But let me know down in the comments, what would you think of my final verdict? And let's see you the next Thursday and bi-weekly on Sunday. Until then, happy reading. Bye-bye.